Looking to make some improvements because you are considering selling your home but don't know where you should put your money or energy? Hi, I'm Uriah Wilkinson with Coldwell Banker Realty, and I've been selling real estate in Minnesota for 16 years. Right here, I'm going to give you 6 ideas that will help alleviate the guesswork and show you what improvements will help increase your return on investment. You don't need to work in the real estate industry to have noticed the surge of demand for home purchases. Nearly every home that is priced appropriately has sold in record time, with many selling at or above the list price. This video is not to convince you to put your home on the market. It's designed for those who have been considering the possibility of selling, but want to make sure that they are getting the most money out of their sale. Nearly every homeowner I've encountered in the 16 years that I've been selling real estate asks for my opinion on what updates they can make to their home before listing. And there are 6 major things I will look at before I provide any recommendations. I need to qualify this with a disclaimer. Not every home is the same and your needs may vary. Example, you take some of the recommendations I'm about to go over, but you have a roof that is in dire need of replacement. It may not matter what improvements you make to your property when there is a more specific need that could hinder a sale. I strongly recommend that you consult a real estate professional and have them take a look at your home to determine what your greatest need is. Let's get into it. Do not, I repeat, do not underestimate paint. To some, this may seem like a no-brainer, but the reality is that I have potential sellers tell me, well, there isn't any point of painting since the buyer will probably repaint anyways. Well, this might be true, but that's not the point, is it? If you have worked with me in the past, you have become familiar with certain phrases I use over and over, and one of those is cute and clean. Yes, cute and clean. Bumps, holes, scrapes, nicks, scratches, marks fading, well, you get the point. These things happen in every home. It's called living, but there aren't many buyers who want a home that seems lived in. Now, Uriah, that's ridiculous. Of course a buyer knows that the home has been lived in. Sure they do, but most are trying to imagine themselves living in this same space, and you'll make it really hard for them to do just that if they have to see where, Uncle Joe may have spilt a bit of his wine, or that one time you were trying to navigate your couch down that narrow hallway. Paint. You don't need to be an interior decorator to choose the best option for paint, and if you think you're an interior decorator, stop. There's no need to get fancy with the paint. Remember, we are just looking for cute and clean, and an environment that a buyer can imagine themselves living in. Soft tones of neutral colors have stood the test of time. Off-white, beige, and grays have been the most common that I've seen. Moving on to number 2, increase your living footage. The surefire way to maximize the highest return on your investment is to increase your living footage. What I mean when I say this is if you have unfinished space in your home, like a basement, or an expansion attic that you have an ability to finish, by adding a bedroom, bathroom, living room, etc., do it. Buyers are going to be looking at the number of bedrooms, bathrooms, and living square feet while searching for a property. Many of the platforms to which a buyer will search have a detailed itemization or field that they fill out. There is a minimum and maximum tab for each entry. It has been my experience that buyers will typically fill in the minimum fields and not the maximum. Example, I want a minimum of 3 bedrooms and a minimum of 2 bathrooms. This can become detailed to the size of the lot, to the number of stalls for the garage, and right down to the cost per square foot. The more living space there is, the greater the demand is for your property, and the more your property is worth. Moving on to number 3, bathrooms. You might be saying, Uriah, I don't have enough money to put into updating an unfinished space, or I don't have a basement or an attic that I can finish to increase the living footage. Well, that's okay. This just means that you need to focus on making what you do have that much more stunning. One of the biggest arguments in real estate among professionals is, what's more important, an updated bathroom or an updated kitchen? It is my personal and professional belief that a bathroom is more important to update. The reason being, an outdated bathroom can and will turn a buyer off from a purchase. Buyers associate how clean a bathroom is with the age of the materials and fixtures. Remember my earlier saying, cute and clean? Additionally, a bathroom improvement shouldn't set you back as far as a kitchen can. So speaking of kitchens, that is our number 4. For the ambitious seller, an updated kitchen can go a long way to maximizing your return on investment. I would like to provide a lot of caution here. Before you start purchasing and replacing everything in your kitchen, make sure you have a solid plan in place. Moving plumbing and electrical along with soffits, exhausts, etc. can get very expensive and slow your project down to a near screeching halt and potentially negate any returns that you were hoping to accomplish before the renovation started. If you have made it this far into the presentation, you are likely to be seriously considering selling your home. I'm sure that you have even gone as far as to look at other listings on the market to see what their values are and how they present their home through photos and videos. This is a very good thing to do. You will probably notice that one of the first photos that come up in your search are the kitchens. Realtors will highlight the kitchen in their marketing for a reason. Buyers are attracted to this space given that they will spend nominal time in it. And this moves us to number 5, landscaping, exterior material. How many years have we heard about curb appeal? It's as true today as it was 70 years ago. You might have a beautiful home on the inside, but the exterior would suggest otherwise, and this can have a detrimental effect on not only the value of your property, but a potential sale. Here are some common exterior issues that I run into. Siding. There are still plenty of homes out there with wood, cement, and even shingle and shake siding. The majority of the time when I run into these properties, they are worn, damaged, or just falling off. The big question is, will replacing my siding give me a return on my investment? Sometimes, but mostly no. Anything that is considered a maintenance item of improvement will not always give you that return you were looking for. However, it can dramatically affect the value and saleability of the property if the home appears in disrepair. The same is true for your windows and roof. Buyers have an expectation that these items are going to be in good enough condition that they won't have to worry about it for years to come. But if they are looking at a less than par exterior, they will start to make calculation of expenses for replacement within a particular frame of time. With that said, let's look around to the manicuring of your property. Do you have overgrown perennials or weeds that overwhelm the eye? If so, clean and trim this up as best as you can, and consider using landscaping barriers as separation between your lawn and the flowers, bushes, and trees that are planted. The visual appeal as a front photo in marketing will attract a wide variety of buyers to your property. The opposite is true as well. An unkempt yard could cause a buyer to judge the rest of the property without having ever looked. And now to our last, number 6 item, mechanicals. Here's another one that fits similarly to number 5. You will not likely see a return on investment by replacing the furnace, hot water heater, or air conditioner, but these items can hinder a sale for the same reasons I presented about the exterior of a home. Many times over, I have had sellers explain that their ancient furnace and or hot water heater may have been old, but it works great. Well, that won't matter to a buyer because they have already convinced themselves that it does need replacement. And once they start calculating the money and effort to replace it, they may just choose the property down the block that has new mechanicals. I appreciate you taking the time to listen to this presentation, and I would like to stress again, these improvement items that I have gone over have proven to bring a return on most home sales, but each property is different. You should always consult with a real estate professional before making any improvements to gauge what your most pressing need is and what the post-improvement value will be. If you have a property in Minnesota and would like a more thorough consultation, please message me, call, or email, and I will gladly set up a time to go over your real estate needs.